It is a book written with the intent of bringing people to saving faith in Jesus. And it is very much a book that deals with the idea of faith in a manner that requires us to really fully invest ourselves and commit ourselves to Christ. The Gospel of John, perhaps more so than any of the other three Gospels, really challenges us personally to respond to Jesus. And this Gospel ultimately is something you as an individual will need to answer to. Before the Big Bang, before everything exploded into existence, God was message. This light is not for a reserved few. Jesus shines his light on everyone. And people who have no access to Bibles still have access to the light of Jesus, because God will make himself known to those who reach out to him in faith. Just as Abraham came to faith in God, redeeming faith in Christ, even though Christ hadn't even come yet, God brought him into a relationship. And there are people on the far side of the world who have no access to Bibles, and yet God will drive them out of their home country and send them to another nation as refugees so that they may be exposed to the gospel. Or he will move the heart of somebody on the other side of the world so that he leaves everything behind to go and share the gospel with him. Or Jesus himself will appear in dreams and visions and reveal himself. But God makes himself known to everyone, and we are called to participate in the God who is calling all humankind to himself. John makes sure we don't misunderstand him. Jesus didn't put on an earth suit for a while. Jesus became flesh. The message became flesh. He pitched his tent among us. That is the language of Exodus. In Exodus, God tells Moses, after delivering the people of Israel out of slavery in Egypt, he says, I want you to build a tent for me, and I want you to put it smack dab in the center of the camp of the people of Israel, because I want to pitch my tent in the middle of Israel. I want to live among you. John likes to describe Jesus coming in the flesh as God taking up residence among us. He took a physical address. He became flesh, and it is a profound mystery, because he didn't just make use of a human body for a bit. That body is resurrected and will exist as a part of who God is forever. The risen Christ will remain the risen human Christ, as well as the eternal divine Christ. That's a mystery. It's a hard thing to wrap our heads around, the mystery of who God is and the mystery of the incarnation. But Jesus, God became flesh. God himself, the one who is in the Father's bosom. This is the intimacy with which the Son and the Father share the Godhead. That is the one who has made him known. What is it this message means to convey to us? Is it information? No. Jesus came to share himself with us. That is the ultimate gift God can give us, that we may know him. The God who knows me invites me to know him back. The God who loves me invites me to know him, be loved by him, and enter into a relationship of love with him. God himself is the message Jesus came to bring us. God has a message to convey to us. And that message is all about life and light, grace and truth, all these wonderful, good things we long for. But you know what ultimately the message is all about? It is about connecting us not to the gifts of God, but to the God who contains those gifts within himself. The greatest gift is God himself, and God is communicating in Jesus himself to us. He wants us to have him and to be had by him, to belong to each other. That's the wonder of what Christ has brought to us. Don't settle for things that you want Jesus to give you. Go for the true prize. Go for the true treasure. Put your heart, focus it on Jesus himself. God is the gift from which flows life and light and grace and truth and every single good thing we will ever know in life.